What's up, guys? It's Bud here from Mad Max. We were out here shooting and realized we never did a video on this rifle. This was my original build back a couple of years ago. Basically, it is a Daniel Defense rifle. All the important components: barrel, bolt carrier group, lower parts kit, trigger, actually. Everything's Daniel Defense. So yeah, we'll do muzzle to stock. We'll go over things I like about it, stuff I want to change in the future, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I have an A2 birdcage. Just got it. For whatever reason, I needed. Wasn't particular on my muzzle device when I first built it. So I have a Daniel Defense cold hammer forged barrel, 16-inch 1-7. I have a Larue tactical 12-inch quad rail. When I built this, quad rails were still the thing. It was before everything key mod and M-Lock came out. I have a Black Sheep tactical upper and lower set. It was Bill's old CO years ago. He had a small manufacturing facility, and Bill and I got a couple receivers sets from him. Like I said, Daniel Defense bolt carrier group, Daniel Defense spring, lower parts kit, OEM trigger. When these first came out, it's the BMC Gunfighters. I love this charging handle. Magpul furniture. I got the forest green because it was cheaper, and everything was in stock. This was a budget build. I had ARs, but they were Colts. They were, from factory. And Bill and I kind of got into the building side of things, and this is the best rifle that I could build at the time for the money. So there's certain parts that I went a little cheaper on, like the Aimpoint. This is a Pro, Aimpoint Pro. The price point on these, when these were new, I think it was like $4 and change, closer to 500. They've gone down a little bit, but it uses the same internals as the M60A or the comp that Aimpoint makes, military use. So the only difference is a little bit of internals as far as the electronics, and the battery life on the military contract is a little bit longer, but it lasts very, very long. Constant. I turned mine off just because this sits in the safe. So yeah, Colt tendonized buffer tube because I'm cool, I guess. Picked them up pretty cheap. I have a Tactical Link QD single point attachment. When I built this, single points were still kind of cool, and actually Tactical Links makes a really good product, but I'm definitely switching that over. We'll talk about that in a second. Like I said, Magpul everything. Yeah, so the things that I love about this rifle, I built this as a defensive rifle. Something you could grab out of the safe, almost like a shit hits the fan gun. It is built strong. Everything I have on it is high quality as far as, there's nothing cheap on this. More inexpensive, but nothing of like shitty quality. The things I love about it, it's accurate. The Daniel Defense barrels are awesome. The Larue rail, it locks down nice. With the billet receiver, I actually can't get the locking ring in, but I've fired, 2,000 rounds out of this at least. It's never moved, never loosened up. The billet receivers I do like I said, I would eventually change out the upper receiver to a forged, just so I could get that locking ring in. Small stuff. The trigger on this is a mil spec standard trigger. Don't know how I feel about that one anymore. It's very light. I've never weighed it, surprisingly, but very light. Compared to the Block 2, it's a feather. I was actually, earlier today, I was running the Block 2 lower on it, because I have the Geisley trigger in there. And I definitely think I'm going to go with a Geisley trigger in this. Don't know which model yet. And then I want to change the muzzle brake out, probably do a War Comp, something similar to that. I might go with a Wilcox mount for the Aimpoint if I keep that on. Might put an EOTech on it. Not sure, there's nothing specific with that. So one thing I don't like about these mounts, it locks down very solid, but you have this big knob that catches on everything. Yeah, so that's the overview on it. It's super accurate. I can count on one hand the amount of malfunctions that I've had with this thing, and that's no bullshit. Whether that's related to ammo, good parts, you know, or a combination of the two. But I really have never had issues with this. I've had issues with bad magazines, feeding issues from that, but the rifle performs flawlessly every time. I was running it dry for a while. I like running my guns dry, and then Bill kind of got me on the thing of just lubing them up. It's kind of leaks everywhere, but they run nice. But even when it was dry, no problems. So yeah, we can take it out to, I don't know, take it out to 200. See if I can even see that. Maybe we'll just go to 150. Let's see what we got. I don't know if I can even see that. I can't see that. So we're just gonna go back to the 50 and then the hostage. Yeah, it's light. It does its job, and I'm happy with it. If I don't remember, I have the build sheet somewhere for it, but I spent less than $2,000 on this, everything included, optic, parts. We got a good deal on these receivers if I remember correctly, but it was my first build, and I'm extremely happy with the way it came out, how it's performed. Small side note, with the Aimpoint Pro, I haven't shot enough Aimpoints to know if it's specific to the Pro itself or if it's an Aimpoint thing, but the reticle on this is very bright, but it also gets very hazy at the higher settings, which all red dots will do because it starts to pixelate a little bit. But on sunny days, I was having a tough time. There was a couple times we'd shoot wintertime, snow on the ground. I couldn't even see the reticle. So I wound up picking up a kill flash from Aimpoint for all their red dot optics. It's pretty good, but on a day like today where it's a little overcast or we're in the woods, there's not that much light, it hazes up the target a little bit. You really can't see that well out of it, but it's being nitpicky, I guess. Yeah, so that's the DD Daniel Defense knockoff budget build. If you guys like this video, like it. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Any questions or comments, throw them down in the comment section. And see you around. Later.